ladies and gentlemen, we've got another account review, and it is for none other than Mr. Cena Faye 86. And I'm gonna be real here. We've been doing account reviews across the entire day of this recording, and he has been talking a lot of trash in the chat. A lot of trash in the chat, talking about how good his is and how, you know, others pale in comparison. So, you know, we see stuff like,
let's see if your account will be more stacked than mine. Mine is better for sure.
are you guys seriously this impressed with those kind of builds?
For me, those are the baseline stats.
Oh man, you can clearly see there's a lot of stuff going on over here.
Flex Master incoming. You better start recording, especially my Zani.
So let's go ahead and see if this guy has put his money where his mouth is when it comes to these builds. I'm very excited. I'll take a very critical view of this one.
May I pray for anything specific for you?
Yeah.
It would be my honor.
Yeah, pray for a good review, Jancy. Because all the gloves are off for this one.
I'm sure your wishes will come true.
Yeah, maybe. I'll be as critical as I possibly can for this one. Because, once again, ladies and gentlemen, he's been talking a lot of trash. So we'll see. Okay, the first one is... Good first piece. Missing 2 dead rolls over here. Actually quite decent, but very low crit rate rolls. Very low crit damage rolls as well. Is there a better build in here? Is this not the right character? I did that specifically. I put my worst. Ooh. You don't have any other pieces. Maybe the other characters will live up to the expectations. Okay, I guess we'll just have to review this one. So, decent 3 out of 5, actually a little bit 4 out of 5, but we are missing a good number of higher rolls over here. This piece, though, missing crit damage. I mean, it's got good substats overall, but we are missing the crit damage. The crit rate is quite high, though. And we do have a actually very good 7.521 over here. And 9.4. This is apparently his worst build, and it's still okay. Yeah, no, this is pretty solid. It's still okay. We got 0% ER. I mean, it's some of the crit rate rolls and some of the crit damage rolls are just low, and some of them are missing crit damage rolls completely. So, yeah, maybe this is just his worst build. So, let's see what's on the Encore. Okay, she's clearly not being used. She's level 4.
Would you like a fun game?
Now let's check out this Camellia. Solid, low crit damage, but everything else is looking pretty good. Dead resonance skill, but it's not a big deal. We are on Nightmare Crownless too. Havoc damage bonus over here. Low crit damage roll, but we got the basic attack. 2 dead rolls here, though, unfortunately, on the heavy attack and the defense. And this piece over here is pretty damn good. 4 out of 5, essentially. Dead resonance skill roll, but we got high crit damage, low crit rate, but then attack. Two substats of it. Now, let's move on to this piece. Oh, that's pretty good. Low crit damage, but it's a 4 out of 5 everywhere else. Just wish we had attack over here. And that's good. Yeah, no, that's basically a 4 out of 5. Camellia benefits from every single roll on this piece. Okay, the builds are progressively getting better. They are getting better, definitely. He's still talking. Oh, just you wait, guys. And then also check the Encore. Okay, all right. This is my worst character I'm using. Okay. Ooh, we got an S2 over here. Okay, it's an S0 Jancy. Okay, that's an S0 Jancy. So maybe it is his lowest investment. And so this is now the unit, guys. This is now the unit that he's saying is the best one ever. It's a Zani. Let's take a look, guys.
Anything I can help you with?
The crit rate is kind of low.
It is kind of low. Maybe there's a heavy attack damage roll at every piece. Oh, I see. Yeah, in combat, if he does have Capitanius, that should go to 61. That should go to 61 in combat. That's kind of high, but we are a little bit... Wait, is that 40% with S2? She's double Spectro. I get that she's double Spectro, but like, is there like one crit rate roll on the build? Oh, okay. So attack, heavy attack, very high, somewhat low crit damage, and then ER. She's double Spectro. Without she's 60%. Okay. This is a solid piece, though. Crit damage, double crit, ER, heavy attack. I mean, heavy attack's gonna be on every piece. That's why we're at 47. And then a somewhat low crit damage roll over here. And then we got attack, heavy attack, crit damage, and then attack flat. And then we got really high crit rate of 10.5%. Heavy attack, attack, and then somewhat low crit damage of 12.6. And then we got a pretty high crit rate. Liberation damage, attack, heavy attack, and then 21% critical damage. Wait, I'm like wondering, why is her crit rate so bad? Okay, we're missing it here. We're missing it here, but we have it on every other piece. Wait, is that... It seems like she's at 40% at a baseline. Is her S2 just not active because she's not in the team? Oh, okay. Her S2 is only active when she's on the team. Gotcha. So this is like an 80% in combat and then 90-something with Shorekeeper. All right. The build makes a lot more sense now. It's odd. I thought that this activated when she wasn't in the team, and I was like, holy shit, this build is a fucking disaster. But in combat, this is 93%. I think it's... I mean, I think that this is pretty solid. I think we're going to have to give this Zani a try. Because, yeah, that's... I see what he means now. That's pretty good. I see... Yeah, that's a pretty good build. Literally no defense rolls. I mean, that's pretty good, man. I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I think he did actually tell the truth here. 80.9 plus 12. Yeah, that's like 91. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's explore the rest of the builds now.
Understood.
Shorekeeper is... I mean, she's... I mean, Shorekeeper is Shorekeeper, right? She's looking fine. We got the Spectro damage and the crit damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one nukes 225.
Today will be
We got
fine day.
Phoebe with 158.8% ER. That's kind of a lot. Do we have an ER3 cost? A little bit mid. A little bit mid. We could have a Spectro damage one with ER on here, and that would make it better. But if we're being entirely honest over here, Phoebe doesn't do any damage regardless, so it's not really a concern. She does no damage regardless. You could have a Spectro damage one on there. The team DPS increase is going to be like, what, 10k a rotation? Yeah, it's Confession Phoebe, guys. She doesn't need to do anything in your team. She could have literally level 0 echoes and still do her job. Cantarella, 126.8% ER. Wait, this Cantarella is actually very well built. And so we got the coordinated attack set. We got the basic attack and everything. Okay, we can share this with G-Jaw too. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good, if I'm going to be honest with you. That's pretty solid. Yeah, doesn't get much better than this for Cantarella. That's pretty good, too. That's also, I mean, low rolls, but it's still got basic attack damage. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, it is kind of low rolls, but it's still, like, really fucking good, so... Yeah, that's a crazy Cantarella. I will be real with you over here. This is quite solid. Yeah, and a lot of the pieces can be straight up just shared with G-Jaw. Now let's look at the Carlotta. 109 ER is just fine when you're using her with Jeja. That's a lot of attack and a lot of crit. Let's also check the nodes. Oh. Ooh, we have S1 too. Okay, S1 Shorekeeper. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Crit rate, Sentry Construct. If we are S1 though, we should replace this with a crit damage one. Maybe we just roll a piece. Maybe we see if we could actually turn this into an account that's worth bragging about. Buddy boy. That's fine. That's fine. Surely it's 21% crit damage. Okay, wait, this is actually worth leveling. Surely we get a crit damage over here. He's got enough tuners. It'll be just fine. He's got enough tuners anyways. That is a lot of defense though. Hey, that crit rate roll is bad. Yeah, it's account bricking time, boys. A one-way trip to Brickerton. Well, this is the thing, right? Now you know that these were going to be bad. See, you don't have to go through the pain of discovering that these were bad by yourself. You can share that sorrow with the entire chat. Og? Wait. Double crit here, and it's... Okay, low, but you can't really complain if you're just getting attacked. Double crit here, and it's kind of... Surely we get double crit here. Og? Okay. Surely a 10.5% crit damage roll is coming for us, guys. Or a 10.5% crit rate roll is coming for us, guys. Surely. I'm totally not breaking his account. I'm totally not doing that, guys. Higher than 6.3. Higher than 6.3. One dead roll is fine. Well, at least now you know all these pieces were going to be bad. At least you now know they were all going to be trash. Wait for it. Surely it's double crit here. Yeah, that rolling session never happened. Anyways, let's get back to the review, guys. So, yeah, one thing you should really consider looking into for a build like this with S1 Carlotta is maybe doing a crit damage forecast. Yeah, that could actually be something super crazy for you to invest in the future. You'll be able to reach some crazy damage numbers on your Carlotta. We definitely didn't roll any forecast echoes on this account. Moving on, we got the crit damage, crit rate, two kind of dead rolls over here on the heavy attack in the basic, but we do have an attack to make up for it. Very nice. And now we got the glacial damage bonus. Really good rolls over here. Crit damage, crit rate, and attack. No resident skill, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. And now we got the... Oh, this is a good piece. 9.2 ER. Attack. Double crit. No resident skill damage, but this is a 5 out of 5 piece. And we finally have our first resident skill damage roll. It's a big one with flat attack and then kind of middling crit rate, but... Middling crit rate and damage, but not really a big deal. I'm pretty sure this Carlotta absolutely smacks. Yeah, that'll be that one. I'm sure she's just fine, especially with G-Jaw providing that ER for her. Let's move on to the Camellia. Alrighty. We already took a look at this one. It was good. Alright, what are we doing here, my friend? I guess this is the thing, right? This is not a bad Jeja. It's just she doesn't need the ER. And you already have these Cantarella pieces, right? You got this bad boy, and then you got this bad boy, and then this bad boy. And so with this alone, you could already think about just getting like either some Glacio 3 costs or like some attack 3 costs, and then just using this set on Jeja 2. Yeah, you could just use this set on Jeja 2. Because you got the tutors and the investment required for it. You could just put on like some Glacio damage over here. I mean, brother, man. Yeah. You might as well just put her on Empyrene. At this point. I do builds for each character besides Jeja and What's-Her-Face, the other Camellia buffer, the Sanhua. Yeah, but this is the thing. It's like you have such insane Empyrene Anthem 1 costs that you might as well just share at this point. Like, you could just use this Hikari for both of them. It's nuts. Because it looks like you have Jeja's weapon. It would be almost criminal not to share the Empyrene Anthem pieces between the two. So that would just be my recommendation. You don't have to do it, but Cantarella and Jeja share the same subs, and you already have 3 out of 5 of the pieces. You only got to build 2 of them. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. You don't have to follow it, but that's what I would say. Because she's going to do a lot better on that Empyrene Anthem set than whatever the fuck this is with 168 ER. All right.
With convention,
now let's look at
then conquer.
The Changli. Blazing Brilliance, R2. Let's take a look at the build. Oh, that's good. Resonant Skill, double crit, ER. Double crit, attack, and ER. Double crit and skill with flat attack. Basically a 4 out of 5. Double crit, resonant skill, ER. Okay, this is a pretty good... That's a pretty good Changli. That's a lot of attack. Yeah, 2.3k, 2300 with 28.1% resonant skill damage. That's pretty solid. No dupes. No dupes on the G-Jaw. Yeah, we got Carlotta S3. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid. We already took a look at the Jinsei. Now let's look at the Yinlin. That's too much crit rate, buddy. That's too much crit rate. Yeah, I would say... You could theoretically drop this one, and they go for one that has more critical damage. Yeah, you're literally overcapping just by using Yinlin's skill. She's at 105%. With Shorekeeper, she's permanently overcapping. Yeah, she's permanently overcapping at 90.7. There's almost no circumstance where she's... Yeah, you actually have too much crit rate, but you're not using her. But yeah, I mean, the crit damage is a little bit low. I would just say, ironically enough, you don't actually need this piece on the build. I mean, it's a 5 out of 5, so I see why you want to keep it, but it'd be way better if this was crit damage. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of 10.5% on this bad boy. Holy shit. Yeah, Yinlin can easily miss with String Master. Something like that in there. But yeah, I will say, pretty solid build overall. I mean, it's looking pretty good. Your Shangli Yao is, yeah, he's getting the table scraps. Marina's looking fine. She got a rectifier. Look at this noob. He has no variation. Hey, time to roll better, buddy. Rolling on every weapon banner in the game, but no variation. That's a bit of a skill gap, bucko. But yeah, you definitely want to have variation on there. It would be great for you to have it, but it is what it is, right?
Let me be there for everyone.
Arrow Rover.
As we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
I mean, this is just like their Spectral Frazzle version. Wait, I feel like you should just use one of their other pieces on here. I mean, wouldn't it not be better to have, like, I don't know, this thing on? Like, would this one just be better? I mean, you would miss a little bit of critical damage, but then you get the crit rate and the attack. Nope, I checked. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you'd be at almost 100% crit rate then, but sure, maybe not. But yeah, I mean, the Arrow Rover build is looking pretty solid. I would just say, when you do use them, you probably want to put Blazing Brilliance on them, because they'll be at 60. They get a free 15%. Yeah, they'll be, with Shorekeeper on the team, they'll be at like 100-something ER. Or, sorry, not 100-something, like 90+% crit rate with Shorekeeper. Maybe like high 80s. I mean, it's a solid account for sure. There are like a couple of brag-worthy things, but if this Carlotta was on a stacked crit damage set, if the Phoebe was better built, I would say the only main thing to brag about is like...
Plan with convention.
The Changli's looking pretty solid. True. But the Jansi's a little bit mid. The Yinlin could be better. The Jeja could be better. The Cantarella's really good. I would say the Cantarella, Carlotta, the Camellia, and the Zani are pretty nice. But the Phoebe is kind of like cheeks. The Phoebe definitely could be better, but it doesn't matter that much. So it's not a lot of stuff. But for the characters that are built, and they're built well, like the Zani is definitely like a 5 out of 5, right? The Cantarella is also true to a 5 out of 5. The Carlotta would be a 5 out of 5 if she had the crit damage. But yeah, I mean, the Camellia is like a 4.5, 4 out of 5. And then everybody else is, and the Changli is probably like a 4.5 to 5 out of 5. But then like the Jinsei, Yinlin, the G-Jaw, and the Phoebe, a little bit suspect, and you don't have a variation either. So yeah, I would say as a whole, it is a solid account, but there's not like that many characters on it either. And not all the builds are pristine. So maybe you could brag about your Zani and your Cantarella and maybe your Carlotta and Camellia. But the other ones, maybe the Changli too, but the other ones, a little bit mid. So now what I want to do is actually see, oh, bro hasn't even done the overdrive zone yet. What's going on, bucko? But your characters are so well built. Why don't you go take them into the overdrive zone, buddy? Let's go ahead and see how good this Zani actually is. Not in the overdrive zone. Let's see how good she is in the TOA. Of course, we're gonna have the Spectral Frazzle amp buff on it. I just want to see how much damage this thing does.
Crystals, give me strength. Silence. Power of the Sentinel. Bloody war with time.
Let's see.
Sentinel, protect me.
No contest. I can spare a minute.
Let's see it.
to Knock some heads around. Come at me. Reduce to dust. Don't stand in my way.
I mean, that is S2, but yeah, that's pretty high. It is S2, so we got to keep that in mind, but that is pretty high. Yeah, the rotation's not even over. Yeah, that Spectrofrazzle damage amp is pretty good. Let's see what she looks like when you don't have the Spectrofrazzle damage amp. That feels almost a little bit illegal. I will say, though, that this is one of the best Zanis I've personally seen. Let's see how she looks like versus Glizzy Rider.
Astral modulation.
Okay.
Sentinel, protect me. Silence! Cut! In the name of Imperator.
I can spare a minute to knock some heads around. Come at me. My shield can withstand more than that. Reduce to dust. My shield can withstand more than that. Don't stand in my way.
I mean, it's kind of the same clear time. I guess that's the power of 61% heavy attack damage bonus. That's the power of a 61% heavy attack damage bonus. Yeah, when you have probably a, like, top 1% build, you can end up doing a fucking illegal amount of damage. It is also an S2 Zani, and I'm pretty sure that has, like, its own motion value bonuses as well. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, 61% is maybe the highest I've ever seen on a unit before. It probably is. That's an average of about 10%, like 9.8% on every single roll. And it starts at 6.4 and goes to 11. So he's on the higher end on every single roll as well. And I mean, I guess this is also the thing that we have to factor in. Zani's S1 is also really strong. Zani's S1 gives her a 50% spectral damage bonus. Do keep that in mind. So Zani's S1 is actually a massive DPS increase. Like, actually kind of insane. That's the same as getting 50% heavy attack damage bonus. So we got to keep that in mind. He's basically operating at 110% heavy attack. There are Zanis with 0% heavy attack, and they don't have S1. A lot of damage, right? And then this just gives her, like, crit rate. Her S2 isn't nearly as, like, damage impactful for, like, the big hits. It just gives her crit rate and more flexibility. So that's something to keep in mind. S1 Zani is a huge DPS boost and is probably the biggest contributor to those damage pools that we're seeing over there. So, yeah. In combination with 61%, a little bit nuts. But yeah, I gotta say, I think he followed through a decent amount. I think that there was definitely some stuff on the account that was a little bit sussy, especially like that Jancy. But overall, I would say if we're using this Zani as like the example of everything, I think he did follow through. At least a little bit. Let me know what you all think. Peace.